we're fucked. Because everything above that life form gets affected, and it means that we become affected. It's sort of like the higher and higher you climb up a ladder, the more and more rickety it becomes, the harder it is to maintain your balance. It's easier to fall off a ladder when you're on the top step than it is when you're on the bottom step. Well, we are at the absolute top of that ladder, and yet somehow we've come to convince ourselves that we're on sure footing, that we're on solid ground. We're not, because as we've climbed up that ladder, we've burnt every step below us. What do you think is going to happen eventually when that fire reaches the top? We're not going to be safe. So why are we extending this damage any longer? Let's think about how insane we are. We are knowingly causing catastrophic damage to the environment. We are refusing to acknowledge that we are the cause of this problem. We have been warned now for at least 30, 40, if not 50 years that we have a population crisis at hand, that we will run out of food before we figure out this issue. We are poisoning the water so we can't drink it. We have created food distribution systems and food economies so insane that we've developed something called factory farming, which is the most inhumane and immoral thing I can possibly imagine, where entire animals live from the minute they're born to the minute they die in crates no bigger than a couple of inches either way of them. And that's the only life they ever know, because we insist on having a diet that is absolutely unsustainable. So they have to suffer as a result of it. Why should we be allowed to stay another day on this planet than we need to? Why should Mother Earth not release the biggest set of plagues and storms and hurricanes and earthquakes she can possibly muster to get rid of an organism that is threatening the life of everything else on her? If this was the Old Testament, this is the part where God would open up a giant chasm in the earth and we'd all fall into it and die. What right do we as a species have to A, claim we're intelligent, B, claim we're superior, C, claim that we're at the top of the food chain, D, claim we're the most important living organism on this planet, and then pretend that we're not going to be the cause of mass extinctions on this planet that has already started? Next time you go for a walk, look down at the concrete at your feet and find whatever animal you can find crawling around. Maybe it's an ant, maybe it's a bee, maybe it's a worm. Understand something. That animal, no matter how small it is more important than you are. Because if you remove that animal from the ecosystem, it causes massive, massive disruption. If you remove humans from the ecosystem, it causes massive, massive healing. It causes massive, massive rebalancing. It causes massive, massive net benefits. We contribute absolutely nothing to this planet, and we take everything possibly from it. The sooner we're gone, the better it will be for everybody. Let's stop kidding ourselves. The world's a far, far better place without us. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Raccoon Club podcast. We'll catch you next time.